Most men will die poor and confused, wondering why the woman they loved left them the moment the money ran out. And they will never understand why, because no one told them the truth. Not their fathers, not their schools, not the culture that raised them to be useful, agreeable, and broke. What you're about to hear is not what they want you to know. And by the end of this, you will never look at women, money, or yourself the same way again. The lie you were handed at birth. You were taught that love is unconditional, that the right woman will stand by you through struggle. That money doesn't matter if your heart is pure. You were taught this by people who were either lying to you or lying to themselves. Here is the brutal reality. Attraction is not a philosophy. It is a biological algorithm. And that algorithm does not care about your intentions. It responds to signals, status, certainty, resource command. And when those signals go dark, attraction follows. Not because women are evil, but because you never understood the game you were playing. Your father didn't tell you this, either because he didn't know or because he was afraid of what it would mean about his own life. So you walked into the arena blind, armed with sentiment instead of strategy. That ends today. Money is not about things. It is about power over your own reality. Most men treat money as a reward. They work, they earn, they spend. They believe financial comfort is the destination. This is the first trap. The man who earns to consume is always one crisis away from collapse. The man who builds to command is constructing something that no economic storm can easily erase. Women do not respond to your bank balance. They respond to your relationship with your bank balance. There is a difference between a man who has money and a man who controls money. One is lucky, the other is dangerous. And dangerous, in the most disciplined sense, is deeply attractive. When you operate from scarcity, it leaks through everything. Your posture, your hesitation, the way you check the bill twice before splitting it. Women read these signals at a frequency most men can't even hear. They are not calculating, they are sensing. And what they sense is whether you are a man who commands his environment or a man who is commanded by it. Stop chasing money for comfort. Start building money as infrastructure. The goal is not luxury. The goal is leverage. The woman who stays only in sunshine is not your partner. She is your mirror. There is a test that life administers without warning. It is not announced. It has no schedule. It simply arrives. The job loss, the failed business, the health collapse, the year everything falls apart. And in that moment, you will discover something about the people in your life that no amount of conversation could have revealed. Most men are devastated when a woman leaves during hardship. They feel betrayed, they build resentment. They decide that all women are the same. This is the wrong lesson. The right lesson is this. You attracted a woman who was drawn to the position, not the person. And that is your responsibility, not her crime. Because you never built yourself into someone whose presence alone commands permanence. You built a lifestyle, and she fell in love with the lifestyle. The man who knows himself completely, who has forged his identity through discipline and self-mastery, attracts a different kind of woman. Not a perfect woman, but a woman who is bonded to something deeper than circumstance. Do not blame the mirror for what it reflects. Fix what is standing in front of it. Provision without power is slavery with a smile. Here is something no one will say out loud. A man who provides everything and leads nothing has simply purchased a different kind of loneliness. Across countless relationships, the pattern repeats. The man earns, the man provides. The man believes that financial generosity is the foundation of partnership. And slowly, quietly, without dramatic confrontation, the respect erodes. The attraction fades, and he is left holding a life he built for someone who no longer sees him. Why? Because provision without masculine authority creates comfort, not devotion. You cannot buy your way into a woman's deepest admiration. It must be earned through a different currency entirely. Decisiveness. Vision. The willingness to stand for something even when it costs you. Resources matter, but resources in the hands of a man without a spine are simply a transfer of power to whoever operates with more conviction. Provide, but lead first, because the man who leads is followed. The man who only provides is managed. Scarcity is the deadliest cologne you can wear. This principle operates simultaneously in money and in love, and most men violate it constantly without knowing. When you are too available, you become invisible. This is not cruelty, It is psychology. Human attention is drawn to what is rare, what is selective, what does not pursue. The man who is everywhere, who responds instantly, who rearranges his life around a woman's schedule before she has earned that position. This man has telegraphed his entire hand before the game has started. The same principle governs financial negotiation, business relationships, and social dynamics. The one who needs the deal most loses the deal. The one who can walk away holds all the power. Cultivate real options, not as manipulation, but as architecture. When your life is full, with purpose, with discipline, with income streams, with ambition, you naturally become scarce. And scarcity, without performance, without desperation, is one of the most powerful forces in human dynamics. Do not manufacture mystery. Build a life so rich in direction that your absence is genuinely felt. The man without financial vision is romantically disqualified before he speaks. A woman does not fall in love with your present. She falls in love with her imagination of your future. This is not shallow. This is evolutionary intelligence. The man who has no financial vision, no trajectory, no plan, no expanding horizon, is communicating something beneath the surface of every interaction. He is communicating stasis. And stasis, in the biological language of attraction, is danger. You do not need to be wealthy, you need to be moving. With intention, with hunger, with a plan that has enough detail to feel real and enough ambition to feel exciting. When you can speak about where you are going, about the business you are building, the skill you are mastering, the position you are ascending toward, you are not just sharing information. You are displaying a kind of cognitive dominance that bypasses surface-level evaluation entirely. Most men talk about where they have been. Powerful men talk about where they are going and make you believe they will arrive. What you tolerate, you teach. Every time you accept behavior that diminishes you, you set a new standard for how you will be treated. This applies to money. This applies to relationships. This applies to every system you participate in. The man who lets the boundary be crossed once has communicated that the boundary was never real. And once that information has been transmitted, it cannot be retrieved. You cannot reclaim respect by demanding it after you have already surrendered it. This is where most men completely collapse. Not dramatically, slowly. One compromise at a time, one exception. One just this once. Until they look up one day and realize they are living entirely on someone else's terms, wondering how they got there. You got there through 1,000 small surrenders you told yourself didn't matter. They mattered. Set the standard from the first moment. Hold it without apology, without explanation, without negotiation. The right people will respect it. The wrong ones will leave. Both outcomes are victories. A wealthy man's secret, he invests in assets, not in approval. There is a psychological poverty that has nothing to do with money. It is the poverty of needing to be validated, of spending emotional, financial, and temporal capital on the maintenance of other people's opinions of you. The man who buys things to impress is liquidating his future for the present tense of someone else's attention. He is converting real capital into social performance. And social performance has no return on investment. The man who builds quietly, who drives the modest car while owning the property, who does not announce his ambitions but simply executes them. This man is accumulating power in the only currency that actually compounds. Stop performing wealth. Start constructing it. Stop performing strength. Start embodying it, because the men who appear to have everything are often deeply fragile. And the men who appear ordinary are sometimes the most dangerous people in the room. Learn to be dangerous in silence. The death of the former self. And now we arrive at the moment that separates the men who change from the men who simply watch videos about changing. Everything you have heard tonight demands that you kill something. Not physically, psychologically. The version of you that needed approval to feel worthy. The version of you that confused generosity with strategy. The version of you that believed love was something that owed you loyalty without demanding you become someone worth staying for. That man has to die. Not because he was evil, but because he was unfinished. He was operating on borrowed beliefs handed to him by a world that needed him compliant, not powerful. The man on the other side of this understands that money is a system to be mastered, not a reward to be waited for. That attraction is a force to be earned through character and competence. That strength is not aggression, but clarity. That love, when built on the right foundation, is one of the most powerful forces available to a disciplined man. But you cannot access that version of your life while the old version is still running the program. Make the decision, right now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances improve, now. The final truth. You were not failed by women. You were not failed by the economy. You were handed a distorted map and told it was accurate, and you navigated by it faithfully until you found yourself lost. Now you have a different map. The question is not whether this information is true. Some part of you already knew it. The question is whether you have the psychological architecture to act on it consistently in the dark moments when no one is watching and the old patterns call your name. Most men will watch this video, feel something shift, and then return to exactly who they were by morning. The stimulus will fade. The comfort of familiar failure will reassume control. A few will not. A few will carry this forward, not as motivation is temporary, but as orientation, as a new coordinate system for every financial decision, every relationship dynamic, every moment of self-definition. If you are in that minority, then what comes next is not a subscription. It is an initiation. This path is not for everyone. It was never meant to be. But for those who choose it, the compound returns in every dimension of life are extraordinary. You know which one you are. Act accordingly.